Hello everybody. All right, so today we are going to talk about the art of Zentangle. Zentangles are one of my favorite art forms. It's an art form that's really based around finding a good mindset, being in a relaxing mindset, and just going with the flow. So let's just see some examples first. So here's a great example of what a Zentangle is. You can see here on my paper, I have a organized pattern. You can see I've split up my paper into multiple sections, and then in these sections, I have gone and done purposeful patterns and shapes and designs in each of my sections. Now, a lot of my students always wonder, what is the difference between a Zentangle and just like a random doodle that you would do on your notebook? So let's look at an example here. So right here, this is something that I just found in my sketchbook. These were done a while ago. You can see that this is me just kind of doodling while I'm trying to plan for my day. You can see it's not very organized. I just have a lot of doodles going on. This is not a Zentangle, okay? So this would be considered just a doodle. This is me just randomly drawing shapes and patterns. You can even see I have like my notes on here from when I was doing stuff in the spring, CSS grad homework and virtual arts festival. This is me just doodling like I normally would when I'm just trying to, honestly, when I'm just procrastinating from something else. This is me just doodling. Now, what we're going to talk about is the art form of Zentangle. There is a difference between a Zentangle and then a doodle. You can see here, when you look at both of these, there we go, you can see that there's a difference. You can see that my Zentangle is a nice organized pattern. It is random, but not so random that it looks like this. You can see that with this pattern, this was me just simply going and drawing. Like I was like, okay, I'll draw a triangle here, I'll draw another triangle. Like there's really no process here. These were just kind of my thoughts, and these were just like the feelings I was feeling. I was just drawing to draw. Here, this is me really mapping out a perfect pattern to create this beautiful Zentangle. So for today, we are going to practice the art form of Zentangle. And what we're going to do is we're going to work our way up. So that way, by the end of the week or the end of next week, we can go from a tiny piece of paper to a very large scale piece of paper. This is something that I'm personally working on right now. You can see I've just started filling in my Zentangles, and I'm planning on filling my Zentangles across my whole lion. I'm going to put this aside though. We will get to this in the future. But for today, we are going to just do some practice because we want to practice what a Zentangle is versus what it's not. So what I'm going to ask everyone to do is to grab a clean sheet of paper, and I'm going to ask you to draw 6 shapes on your paper. Your shapes can be any shapes you want. I do not care. They also do not have to be large. You can see mine are just about the size of my thumb. They're not very big. I highly suggest you keep them about the size of your thumb. You don't want to make them too large because this is just a practice. This is not our project. All right, let me say that one more time. This is practice. This is not our project. Okay, so when we start Zentangles, the first thing we need to do is we need to think about the supplies we're going to use. Zentangles do not use pencils. We are not going to use a pencil for this project at all, which I know sounds a little terrifying because what if we make a mistake? But that's the whole point of Zentangles. Zentangles are supposed to be purposeful patterns. So when we make mistakes, we're going to just have to turn them into happy accidents. So the question then lies, what should I use? There's many different options. You can stay with a normal Sharpie. You could stay with a skinny Sharpie. I have like a Sharpie pen here. So you can see that's like my little Sharpie category, all different sizes. Also, if you just have some normal black pens, you can use just normal black pens. Or this is my nice drawing micron pen. So if you have one of these are good, really good too. So you can see here, I have lots and lots of really great options of what I could use for my Zentangles, but notice how they are all black, and notice how there is no pencil, there's no color. We are sticking to just black ink today. So go walk around your house and find and see what you can find, okay? For me, my personal favorite is, actually, let's rank these real fast for my personal favorites. So I personally love the skinny Sharpie. This is my favorite. And then I will go hand in hand with the normal size Sharpie because they can get some thicker lines. My second favorite is the Micron pen. My least favorite is this kind of pen. It's not bad. It's just that I much prefer these. The ink flow a lot better. And these are just kind of like, they're good, but I like these better. Okay, so what today? You guys are going to draw your 6 shapes on your paper. Remember, they don't have to be very big. And you guys are going to go and practice your Zentangles in each of here. So I'm looking for 6 different patterns in each of your shapes. Now, you might be wondering, how the heck am I supposed to come up with patterns? You don't have to. Guess what? The Google is going to be your best friend right now. You're going to go in Google Images. You're going to type in Zentangle, and you're going to see so many examples on Google Images, okay? All I want you to do is to search the web, find patterns that you like, and then you are going to copy them. Literally, you're going to just copy them. I will also provide you with some examples, but Google will be your best friend for this, okay? So you might not be able to see it, but I currently have Google up on my screen right now so I can see some examples. And I'm literally just going to go and start drawing. I got my skinny Sharpie. I think for this first square, I'm going to go and draw some circles. Now, the most important thing about Zentangles is that there's multiple layers to it. So you can see I'm moving pretty quickly. Notice how I'm really not too concerned with making each circle perfect. Like, look at that. Some of these are bigger, those are smaller. Some of them overlap by mistake. The thing about Zentangles, it's not meant to stress you out. It's actually supposed to be a relaxing art form. Zentangles are very much linked to meditation. It's supposed to be the art form of just relaxing. So you can see I'm not stressing out about it. I'm drawing. Okay, now that I have my circles, this is not done. The thing about Zentangles is that you really want to work in layers. You don't want to just do one thing. You want to see what you can do next. So you can see on my example here, I drew circles like that, and then I put another circle inside and I colored it in. That's a layer right there. You can see here I have these tiny, tiny circles, but then I have the layer with the, like the arrow, and then I also bolded those lines right there. It's all about finding different ways to add another layer. So for this one, I'm thinking I need to color the background because this is kind of boring right now. But if I go and color the spaces around the circles, in a moment, you're going to see this come to life. Look at that. You can already see it coming to life. I'm going to do a little bit more. This does take a moment. I personally find it to be extremely relaxing. I could just draw Zentangles all day. I think my one flaw with Zentangles is sometimes I'm not sure what I should draw, and that's why I'm saying Google should be your best friend. So don't hesitate. Definitely use Google. It's all about experimenting and just being relaxed and having fun. Coloring in between. Look at that. It's already changing so much. Okay, because I don't want to waste your time, I'm not going to finish coloring this square. But you can see how that's already changed it and morphed it. I could also go another layer in there. What if I colored in some of these dots? Look at that. In a matter of seconds, I took it from boring circles to then a blacked out area, and then I added these dots. You can see how our Zentangle really is transformed. Now, another thing you guys can think about is how you can use a kind of like bold your lines so that way you get more of a texture and more of an idea of what you can do. So for example, maybe with this shape, I'm going to go and draw these big swirly lines. Then maybe I'll go through with my thicker Sharpie and I'll bold some of them, but not all of them. Then, what should I add for my next layer? Maybe I'll go and I'll color in big circles, just like that. There we go. Look at that. It's already starting to come to life. What else could I do? Oh, I know what I could do. You can see now I'm just having fun with it. I'm just kind of thinking on the fly. I'm not stressing out about what I'm doing. I am just having fun. And you know what? I feel like it needs another layer. I'm not completely happy with it yet, so I think what I'm going to do is oh yeah, that looks cool. Look at that. Every little line is going to add some kind of fun texture to your design. All right, so look at that. We got a full section done. This one, obviously, I did not finish, so pretend like I did. We got 2 sections. Look how quickly I was able to accomplish that. So your goal is I want you to go and fill in all 6 shapes with 6 different patterns. You need to think about layers. It is not going to be acceptable if you just turn in a shape that looks like this. Turning in a shape like this is not a Zentangle. These are just some lines on the paper. Zentangles are all about adding layers and layers to your patterns. So if you come up with something boring like that, what can you add? Maybe for me, I can go and I can add some little half circles in there. Then, that's still kind of boring, isn't that? So what else can I do? Maybe from there, I can go and bold circles on those lines. It's all about layers. So please do not give me boring. Give me exciting. All right, that is your task for today. Like always, if you have questions, please reach out to me. You are filling 6 patterns. I should see each pattern with multiple layers. Anything that I see with just a single layer means that I'm going to take points off. So that means don't just give me random lines and call it done. This is not a doodle. This is a Zentangle where we're being intentional with our patterns. Good luck today, and I hope you enjoy.